Happy 2023 again.
Happy 2023.
Look, I got my glasses.
This side of the calendar.
Amen. Amen. And I got my glasses because I'm matching your energy out here.
Hey now. To be able to see.
Listen, I'm not claiming that. Welcome everybody who's watching us tonight. Tonight we had someone ask us online and we listened, and it's not the first time. So we know it's like we finally need to do this, is to show kind of how we set our goals. Tasha and I have been accountability partners for
more than 10 years is what we're going with.
That's right. We're just going to go with more than 10 years because I forgot how many. But anyway, we really go through this entire exercise for all of our goals at the top of the year. And we're just going to give you a short part of it because it really takes some time but kind of what we're about to do kind of shows you what we do.
And I think we've evolved, right? We used to do it in one session. We'd take a few hours and they were good goals, but we started to really, when we started talking about manifestation and vision and, bigger dreaming, like it just takes more time to put it down on paper. And one of the things that we teach in our group coaching session is the power of actually writing things down. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it. So first up, we start just basic. A basic sheet of paper, right?
And I'm the scribe. I'm always the scribe.
Always. I'm not going to be the one who writes it down. I don't even go to pick up a piece of paper. I'm like, Tasha got it.
So for tonight, we're going to do it in a Word document, but typically we use a Google document that's shared between the two of us. It's a living document, so we can both be in it at the same time. And when we're going through my goals, Cheron types for me so that I can really just think and talk and speak, right? And we kind of help each other wordsmith.
Yes.
And then when I help Cheron with her goals, I'm doing the scribing so she can just really talk and think. Today, I'll scribe for both of us.
All right. So today, we're going to start off with these are our general areas, right? And we're sharing them with you, and you might have your own. This kind of can be a skeleton for you, right? We go with health, financial, family, friends, educational, entrepreneurial, professional, and fun. Again, it's whatever works for you. You may not have all these. You may have something completely different, but it kind of gives you an idea of where to begin.
And we grew to this, right?
Yes.
Started with only financial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to get with yours. Tasha's doing the health goals.
Yes, I am. Health is
Tasha, what's going on? What is it that you're trying to achieve? What is it that you feel like you need to achieve, and why?
So I'm a woman of a certain age and I have babies. My babies are little and I want to be an active mom and I want to feel good in my body. And for me, there are certain parameters that make me feel good that keep my energy up.
Okay.
And so I want to work on those. I'll share with you in the world now. I've had some health challenges over these past, I guess it's 5 years now that I've really been trying to figure out some things in my body. Thankfully, over the holiday, I started to get some answers and some better direction. And so with that information, I'm going to now develop my goals, right?
Yeah. So if you wouldn't mind, and only because I don't, generally what would happen is that I'd be typing right now, but because I don't have access for this particular purpose, can you do me a favor and write down your why?
Why?
Yeah. And your why, from what I heard you say, is because you want to have an active life with your children.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't want your time with your children compromised by your health. So
I would say my family, right?
Okay, your family, sure.
Yeah. There's other people in my family too. I want to be able to go on vacation and walk and, or take the hike or whatever, right? Yeah.
So then we'll say you also want to enjoy the fullness of life.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are watching, we always start with what the why is. Because if you don't get into what the why is and you don't fully see it and it's not really believable, you're not going to hold on to your goals.
Yep. So for me, the goal in health, I guess, is around intentional eating, which
Mhm.
leads to the other things, right? The weight loss, the percent body fat that I'm looking for. So yeah, it's intentional eating.
So your goal is intentional eating? That that is the goal?
I
Is
think
that what we're saying?
oh no, that's how I'm gonna get to the goal.
No, no,
I
no.
mean,
What's the goal? What's the end point?
the end point is to feel good in my body, knowing what I eat, right? I want to be able to feel good. I love to eat and I like to eat a lot of things.
Okay,
There are certain things that don't like me back.
I understand. So let me say this. So then what I think I hear you saying is you want to fully understand those things that cause you distress when you eat, right? And you want to then evolve and have a diet that you can enjoy without having the negative impact.
See, look at this wordsmithing you got going on. That's exactly what I'm saying. And it be a lifestyle,
And
right?
it'd be a lifestyle, right?
Which which could shift and change based on what I have to do, right? So say it again.
See, dang it, man.
This is recorded though, so we will be able to get back to it.
Okay, okay.
Uh can I write intentional eating?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
I
think it's,
mean,
fully understand, how food uh
impacts your body.
yeah,
And so, and while you're writing that, I want to say, like, for anyone who is going through health challenges and doctors are not able to figure it out, I would say continue on the journey, find different doctors, do your own research.
yeah,
As Tasha said, this has been a 5-year journey. I have been on this journey with her. And 5 years later, probably about a year or so ago, we actually found out,
yeah.
you know what I mean, some really interesting, good stuff. But it took about 4 years to get there.
Yeah. And I'm fully open to sharing, right? But just because of our short time that we have to go through this, we're just trying to show you kind of the exercise. But I agree, it's important to continue to push because I know my body better than anybody, better than any doctor. I don't care what the test says. I'm telling you what I'm feeling and
Right,
how I know I'm supposed to feel. And
right,
so that's where I am. So to fully understand how the food impacts my body, one of the things that I have to do is an elimination diet.
right,
So there are certain foods I've been tested that affect me adversely, and I
mhm,
have to eliminate those foods from my diet for 6 weeks and then reintroduce them one at a time to sort of figure out to fully understand how it's impacting me. And then I make the choice on whether or not I want to suffer that consequence or not. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about time. When does the elimination diet begin?
The elimination diet started on January 1st.
Yeah.
Um, and it goes through February, I think 6 weeks. I was like around February 9th or
Uh-huh.
12th. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So the first thing is the elimination. What's the next thing you think you need to do in order to become the fullness of health that you want?
So part of it is also gut healing. There's a protocol that I have to follow for the gut healing.
Okay.
Um, and that will start as soon as I receive the supplements that I need. They have been ordered,
Okay.
and that's probably going to be about 3 months until I follow up with the doctor again.
So gut healing protocol, which requires you taking some supplements,
Yeah,
that begins when you get them. So we expect them.
yeah. Next week, right? January 9th. Yeah,
Okay. So we'll say beginning January 9th. How long do you and you had to do it for 3 months.
Yeah.
So let's just say through March 9th.
Okay.
Now, the other thing, right? Right now, Tasha and I are in the midst of a sugar fast. It's something that she and I do to hold each other accountable to make sure that we are being as healthy. Sugar has a lot. Listen, we like sugar.
I do. And you don't realize how much sugar you eat
Until you take it away.
It's a detox. It's not even a fast. Like, it's a detox because it's like 100% sugar, natural sugars, all of that. Yeah.
It's a detox. Like we like to say, oh, we eat healthy, right? And there are those who think we are too health nuts. We like good food. We like a good cocktail. We like a good piece of cake. We like some good bread.
Yes.
And so just to kind of level set our bodies, right? Because we don't want to give up everything, but we also want to make sure that we're being good for the long, is that we're in a sugar detox. So you should put your sugar detox up there.
It's also that mind over matter, right?
Yes.
It's a mind strengthening activity because I like to eat, but sometimes I'm not really hungry.
So it's not a, so okay, this is an example how you can have the same activity, but two different approaches. Because I don't care nothing about no mind.
For me, it definitely, I mean, think about any diet or detox or anything you do, you got to get your mind right because your mind is in control.
Like I said, we all have different approaches.
Sugar detox, 21 days in January. So
that's January, that began January 1
through the 21st.
Through the 21st.
Yes. Okay, so that's where we'll stop for me, right? Just from time purposes. But what we would typically do for me is, do you have any other health goals, right?
Yes.
And go through this and really ask the probing questions to get to the why and what the really is and what we're trying to do. And it's time marked. A lot of times we will break things up into quarters. And so it's easy to go back to look because it's important to break it down in bite-sized pieces so that we're able to celebrate, after 6 weeks or 3 months, right? I accomplished this, right? So I can keep going and keep going and keep going.
What will continue to happen is that Tasha and I will talk to each other. Now, we talk to each other every day, but we would talk to each other maybe about once a week. All right, how are you doing? So I'm going to ask Tasha, how are you doing with sugar today?
Yeah.
How are you doing? Did the supplements come in? I'm going to hold her accountable. How are you on the elimination diet? What should you and what should you not be eating? What's your body feeling like, right?
Are you prepared for this event, right? Because I know you're going here.
Right.
What are you going to have to drink? Can you just do the club soda and lime? Right?
Yes. That was me.
It's important to be transparent. It's important to be specific, so that my accountability partner can hold me accountable and understand what I'm going through.
Absolutely. And it's what we like to call the holding your hand through the process. I'm not here to badger her. I'm not beating up on her. I'm not, well, you were supposed to do this. You ain't do that. No. That's not what this is. This is, okay, let's talk through this because I know what your goals are. I know where you want to be. I know why you want to do it, right? You got little kids who are active as all get out, and
be up in here sick, balled up.
Talking about my back hurt. That ain't gonna work.
All right. And for me, I'd love to have it written down because the way my mind works, and my memory, I need the notes. All right. So we'll spend some time. Often we'll take one person per sort of sitting so that I can focus, right? And Cheron is fully in the coaching seat during that time.
Yeah.
And then we'll switch roles, right? So now I'll be in the coaching seat and we'll go to Cheron. Cheron, which area would you like to demonstrate for the folks today?
I'm going to go into financial and I'm going to call it investments.
All right. We're going to do your why. Well, you can tell me the goal first and then we'll write the why.
Well, all right. So the why. I want to always be able to live comfortably. And I want to work because I want to, not because I have to. I had
Mhm.
a mentor who taught me long ago, when really just out of college. He said, your goal is to get to the point where you work because you want to, not because you have to. And when I got out of debt, I'm going to tell you, there is a shift that goes on. There's a certain level of energy that you walk through the halls of your office with when you realize, I mean,
I don't have to be here.
I don't have to be here.
Yeah.
I'm here because I want to
I
be.
got that good FU fund.
That good. You know what
That
I
good,
mean? Like, I'm not saying I want to use it,
yeah. And so
right?
when you say comfortably,
Yeah.
what does that mean for you?
So for me, that means being able to know that I can manage all of my bills without stress.
Mhm.
That means so that's just security, right? So that's that first level of security. Um I think I'd like to be in a I know I want to be in a place where I'm having streams of income, passive streams of income that come in that continually
Mhm.
um yeah, increase my wealth. Give me income without me having to stress
Yeah.
hard about it. So that to me will give me a level of comfortability and security because I know there's a check always coming in.
Yeah. So security is a big one.
Security is a big one.
Yep. Okay. So what is the goal for 2023 financially?
So, as Tasha and I mentioned, there will be a couple of goals on this. For the interest of time, we'll do one. And I want to do more investing. So, to give you all, I do invest. I'm an active investor, and but I want to understand the market better. I want to understand how to better take advantage of the market, right? I don't want to be an emotional investor, right? So there's a lot of us who hear, oh, we're going into a recession. Certainly, listen, I'm feeling inflation like a mug. Ooh. But here's the thing, and one, Tasha and I have done a lot of sort of education for ourselves in money. And what we understand is that money never leaves the market. It just goes to a different part, right? So
Right.
if the market was booming a year ago or 2 years ago, it didn't just disappear. It
Right.
didn't disappear.
If
It went
anything, they're making more money.
exactly.
Right.
Right. And so part of what I want to do is one, yes, take the emotion out of it, become a better student, and understand how to adjust my investment strategy based on the market that you're in.
Okay. What does more look like specifically?
It's a good question.
Yeah, so we're getting into the very specifics, right? Um, are we talking dollar amounts? Are we talking time investments? Because you talked about education. Um, you can do percentages, right? Like,
Right.
yeah.
So I would say right now, maybe maybe it's not more investing, right? But maybe it's continued investing.
Okay.
Right now, I mean, admittedly, I haven't invested as much. So I saved so much money and I put it into a separate account that's just set for investment, right? So I have however much money that goes into a separate that's just for investment. And then Tasha and I do what's called Financial Fridays. And what we'll do is after our accounts get to a certain amount, we're like, oh, today's a good day to go shopping for stocks.
Go shopping.
Let's go
Sale,
shopping. That's when we go
sale.
shopping.
You like a good sale.
Today feels like a good sale. Today the market is down, and today it feels like a good day to go buy stocks. That's one of the ways that we go shopping.
So let's talk specifically though about, what's one or two things that you're going to do toward this goal, let's say in first quarter.
So in first quarter, I want to learn what markets excel in a recession economy.
Ooh, where'd that font come from?
Oh,
And
wow.
how are you going to do that?
Research
Okay.
and research. Yeah. So research and look at historical trends, which again, is all under research.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to invest. And once I've learned, I'm going to invest. So I would say that I should be researching, right? Because I don't like to move. I'm not a fast mover.
You're not.
I'm not a fast mover. I am someone who will take my time, but I'll be comfortable, and when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that I'll be researching, and I'll just give myself time, right? Because there's going to be a lot of goals on this. So I'll say by the end of January.
Okay.
But by February, I should be investing.
So in February, you're going to be investing in, let's say, this new the new market that you've learned about potentially.
Well, actually, no. You know what? You're right. Let me step back. I should do research. Then I should have a plan.
Okay.
Right? So you do the research. Then I should create a plan. And then I should implement the plan.
We'll do that in February.
Right. And I think I can develop and implement both in February. So you can just put February after that. That's fine.
Okay. Any ideas on what your research might look like?
The wonderful world of Google.
Just wondering if it's conversations with your financial advisor, right? If it's conversations with your super smart financial friends that are in your village, right?
You know what? Thank you very much. Can you go back up to
class?
I think you're that perfect. Let's go back under number 1, and then let's do talk with financial advisor.
No, because we're already into January, right? And so if you're going to finish this by January 31st, you need to make an appointment with your financial advisor because you've got about 2-3 weeks left, right? In the month.
Listen, but that's also just an email to him.
Could be an email, right?
Right. So talk with that financial advisor. Certainly research online.
Yep. Which is, we have to make sure that it's not just Google, that we're looking at qualified information.
I mean, Google is the platform. I'm only going to
I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Listen, I ain't playing with my money. But yeah, so
one more.
Talk with financial advisor, talk online research. Yeah, talk to people I believe that are in the know about financial matters. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Like maybe one that we know that, advises on CNBC. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, that one.
That one.
Yeah. Or one that's in a multi-billion-dollar deal. Yeah. Yeah, I know some folks.
Yeah. Your review, your personal contacts.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So this can also be adjusted because it becomes a living document, right? Like you might get into one market and say, okay, if here is where the money is shifting, gosh, and there's so much involved in this. My mind is just like going right now, right? That's also following the news because the money goes where the government is spending their money. Where's the government spending money?
And also where their conflict
in politics.
Right. So it's right. It's the geopolitics of it all. And because I saw what's going on in China is affecting Apple. So you're absolutely right. So can you put underneath there, reading financial news?
Yeah.
I think that's a separate line under online research, right? Because one is just studying how markets work, and the other one is current day, what's happening in the world.
Okay. Good. I mean, we could continue this, right? Because
And we will.
that is what it is. You want to have very specific things because oftentimes we're so busy during the week, but it's like, well, what'd you do?
Yeah.
Right? You wanted to this entire month of January do some financial research to understand how the markets are shifting and where you want to focus your energy. But what did you do on the 14th and the 17th and the 23rd, right? Did you mark off those things you said you wanted to get done in January? And so taking the time to really think about it and put down those specific things that you want to do because I want to do continued investing,
Yeah.
right? Be a smart investor. Now your week was busy and I know that I talked to my financial advisor, right? I followed up on this email. I watched this podcast or whatever, you know? So this is what we do.
This
And
is what we do.
it's time consuming because look at all these areas, right? We still got to talk about our soft goals, things that we want to do for fun with our family, entrepreneur. And again, Cheron said you may not have goals in all these areas, but you might. Listen, when we get with our group coaching clients, these are the things that we go through. Not all these areas, but what are those one or two things that you want to work on? And we break it down into those small pieces so that when you're busy during the week, you know that you're actually working toward success and a goal.
And asking you the challenging questions. As you just saw, Tasha challenged me with some really good questions because I was just ready to leave it at Google. And I was reminded there are other resources I should probably consider.
Yeah.
Right. And this is really good. And now that I have this document, you can rest assured that it's now top of mind. I got to send my financial advisor an email.
That's right.
I got to start reading, the Financial Times and understanding some of this stuff. These are the things that there's some phone calls I need to make to some people.
Yeah. This is how we do it.
This is how we do it. So
join us.
Absolutely. So I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. As always, you can follow us online at Facebook, AQ Partners, Instagram, AQ_partners, or go to our website called theaqpartners.com. It's time. It's all about me in 2023, right?
That's right. It's about me.
My word is manifestation. What's your word again?
I'm still working on my word. It has not been dropped in my spirit yet.
Okay. We'll come back to that.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.